Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new series that I am calling Guild Wars Tactics. We're going to go into a little bit of depth when it comes to making defense teams, offense teams, attacking, general things that you should probably know going into Guild Wars. It's not going to just be me kind of full sending teams into different towers and then attacking as we go. We're going to kind of add a little bit of structure to this. So for the first episode that we're doing today, we are going to attack into the unknown team. So this right here is currently the best variation of unknowns. You have Nanashi, Philo, Sage Merlin, and Echidna. I think the order is a little off, but the first turn is going to be Infect from Echidna, and then you'll have the weak point AoE from Philo, and then because she's on the right here, you're going to have her Sever AoE. So how are we going to attack this? Well, one of the most popular attacks for this team is Reinhard Suicide. Reinhard's a little better than Bon, because Bon absolutely needs to be 6/6. But even then, he still doesn't deal quite as much damage as Reinhard once he gets all of his passive stacks up. So this team consists of him on top of Arthur, boosting human damage along with HP. Twigo, boosting HP. He has his free taunt. And then because this is a Suicide, we do have Suicide Liz. The artifacts are going to be full HP, but I believe you can also run the R set to make Twigo a little stronger. I don't really like to run that set just because it's an entire passive effect that kind of focuses on one unit, and I think general HP is just going to be better because Reinhard is scaling all of his damage from HP specifically. So the next thing that we need to do is gears. So when it comes to Guild Wars, gears are going to be a little different. First off, Reinhard is pretty standard HP crit build. Like I said, he scales off HP, so they need to be maxed as much as possible. Crit, because obviously he's critting, and then his top row, since he doesn't scale off of attack, we want him to crit. So he is going to have crit chance in his top row. That is essential. The other units are going to be HP and crit defense. Now, our gear is perfectly fine. And as long as you have a bunch of gold, you should be able to max them out, so relatively easy. And why crit defense? Well, defense kind of sucks in Guild Wars. A lot of the damage is going to be from crits, especially with the way teams are built. There's a lot of passive synergy when you have 4 people out on a field. Especially going into unknowns, there's going to be a lot of critting. You have the Sever attack from Echidna. Philo weak point's going to crit. There's no guarantee that we can resist the crit. So we don't run crit resistance, but there is a guarantee that we can reduce the amount of damage that we'll take from the crit, and so we will run crit defense. This will help us to ensure that we don't get one shot, because if you're on defense, regular defense, you're probably going to get one shot. And then Liz, this is Suicide Liz, right? So typically you would want her ungeared, but we do have a little bit of gear on here, just because we want to make sure that she doesn't die to the first attack. The first attack is going to be the Infect, right? But when she dies, she's going to heal and cleanse, yada, yada, yada. But if she dies to the Infect, we're going to be particularly low when the weak point comes out. There's a good chance the weak point one-shots us. So what we're going to do is have her on a little bit of HP. I have 140. I'm not sure the exact number here. 140 might be good. She should live to the Echidna Infect, die to the weak point from Philo, and then she will heal everyone else up, and then once we get to the Echidna Sever, it should be good to go. So we just double-checked everything. Everyone's on crit defense, like I mentioned. HP crit, standard HP defense for Liz. Doesn't matter too much. She's going to die regardless. So we're going to see how this works. Everyone on their side is full HP. I think it was 318. So this is pretty standard, pretty decently built team, I would say. Nanashi should have his relic if they have built him correctly. So we will talk about playing around that. There it is. So we have the Nanashi buff on everyone. So let's take a look at the first turn here. So Echidna Infect, like we said, Liz is living. And then the weak point AoE from Philo. Liz dies here. We get the full heal and cleanse, just like that. And then we can take the Sever attack. It's not going to be too much damage. We have crit defense. It's perfect. So what does our turn 1 look like? Liz is going to give us 2 gauge, and we need Reinhard ult. So the first thing you want to do is check. It looks like Echidna got some merges. She has 3 gauge. 2 silvers. Philo probably got a merge as well. And the Nanashi buff is currently on everyone. So we don't want to attack. we're going to get drained that way. So we're going to double move Reinhard, and then we need to burn a card. We could burn the taunt, but we have our taunt up. There is no buff cancel, so I think we're just going to burn the Twigo attack. Doesn't really matter too much because we don't care about Twigo ult. It's not going to do much. I don't think it matters too much what you burn there. Now, turn 2, they're going to do... Oh, we got a second Philo AoE. So that's the worst case scenario, but it doesn't do too much damage, as you see. Another Sever attack. Or was that the Infect? That was just Sever. So that's fine. Single target. I think this is a stance cancel. Well, it's a stun, so I guess by extension it is also a stance cancel. So turn 2 for us. We need to make sure that Reinhard can up his relic. We do that by using skills. So the best way that we can use skills here is going to be attacking to Nashi, because he no longer has his buff, which means he probably has... he doesn't have the correct amount of cards. So what we're going to do is full on to Nashi with Reinhardt attacks, and then we'll ult. And we'll see what this damage looks like. There is a world where you could hold your ult, but I would never risk doing such a crazy feat. So we hit 1.6. This is a 5-6 Rein. Obviously, Suicide, you want to have strong ults. You want to have, you know, as high as you can get. We don't have 6-6, but if it was 6-6, it would kill. Now Reinhard has all of his, or most of his passive from his ult, so we don't have to worry about him dying or getting sealed or anything like that. Now we just need to finish off these two girls. Hopefully 2 Reinhardt attacks will kill off Phyla. Yes, they do. He's got his all stat from his buff. He's got his relic pretty much is fully stacked. And that is going to be Reinhardt Suicide into the current best unknown variation. So we're going to try to do this for a lot of the defense teams and a lot of the offense teams. So if you guys like to drop a thumbie, maybe sub it if you're into that, and I'll see you in the next one.